Hey guys, my name is Tyler from Duelcastermage.com, and I'm here today at long last bringing you the finals of the May 2018 Duel Commander Discord tournament. Just a quick reminder that this was a double elimination tournament, so I'm playing the winner of the losers bracket, which could potentially be someone I've already played earlier in the tournament. Let's have a look at the full bracket. We had 12 total players sign up, so 4 of them had round 1 buys. Anyone dropping a match in the winner's bracket is sent down to the losers bracket, where another loss eliminates them from the tournament entirely. As you can see down here, that damn Pipsqueak, who is playing Raf Kapashen, had a string of victories and ended up playing Danzir piloting Naban in the losers bracket final. Danzir ended up pulling that one out, which means I'm once again matched up against Naban for an epic wizard battle grand finale. If you missed any of the previous rounds, check out the full tournament playlist on the Duelcaster Mage channel or website to get up to speed. Alright, it's finals time. Alright, for game 1 of the finals, I'm on the play, and I see kind of a mediocre hand. I got enough lands, I keep it. Misdirection's not looking great, but I don't want to mulligan in a deck that this land light when I have all my colors and enough sources. So he goes turn 1 Serum Visions to smooth out his draws a little bit. I draw Kosi's Trickster, so that's at least a threat, even though it's really tiny. And in fact, not very likely to get any additional +1/+1 encounters, considering his Naban deck is mono blue, and I don't think he plays any fetch lands, but it's something. I attack for 1 and just pass. He goes Opt at the end of his turn, and I don't love... I could have played Adeliz here into 2 open mana, but I just didn't feel like that was ideal. He's playing a ton of counter spells, so he just goes Brainstorm to follow up the Opt, so really smoothing his draws quite a bit. He goes the preemptive Mox Amber, which is a smart move because when you, if he resolves Naban, he's going to want to have counter mana up immediately. If I try to, let's say I go to burn Naban in response to him playing Mox Amber, that would be pretty bad if he couldn't, use the mana from it. So I do have the burn spell, turns out. So I use this Burst Lightning on Naban just to take it out, and I do it now because I want to have my 4 mana open for Venser next turn, so I can counter his play. But he just says draw, go, and on my draw step he does the classic Vendilion click play, but I counter with Mana Leak, so he's not going to get to see my hand and rip a card from it, which is nice. Still have memory lapse up, and I sack my fetch while he's tapped out, so can't get stifled. He still plays draw, go, and now I draw my 5th land, which is actually quite nice because I can play Naban, I can play Adeliz and hold up memory lapse. He casts an end of turn Snapcaster into Opt, but I just let that resolve. It's not a big deal. This is much more important, this sort of feast and famine. If this resolves, I'm in a lot of trouble, because even though I'm not black or green, I'm gonna have to discarding cards. He's gonna untap all his lands, so he can pass the turn with shields up, which would be a disaster. So clearly an easy memory lapse for me, for my part. But he has a Force Spike, so my memory lapse will be countered. His sword will resolve, but he's 1 mana short of actually being able to equip the sword this turn, which is really good for me because now I can use this Chain Lightning to take out the Snapcaster and ostensibly, prevent him from connecting with that sword next turn. And he's gonna have to come up with another creature if he wants to, play that game. So I attack him down to 9, still holding up Venser here, which I get an opportunity to use right now, in fact, because he plays his Patron Wizard, really cool card, just turns all your wizards into 4 spikes on sticks. I actually have to Venser this right now, otherwise he would be able to counter Venser itself with the Patron Wizard, so I don't want that to happen. So as soon as Venser hits play, it's going to bounce Patron Wizard back to hand from the stack, and he does have enough mana to recast it, but at least now he can't equip Sword. I draw a Remand and attack with the team. I have just enough mana and instants here to play this Spellstutter Sprite mid-combat, because he actually blocked my Kosi's Trickster with Patron Wizard, and then I remand my own spell because that's going to give me a Adeliz trigger, which I really want to pump this Kosi's Trickster big enough to kill Patron Wizard. And even though he tries to counter it, I have an extra mana, so that puts him down to 3 and looking pretty good, pretty clear board. He plays this Jace the Mind Sculptor, but Adeliz can handle Jace pretty well. Much better than most decks, so it's not even that scary. I replay Adeliz. He goes to counter it with Wizard's Retort, but I have Misdirection to take care of that. So game 1 ends in my favor, and decent showing from Naban, but pretty decisive victory at the end of the day. So for game 2, I see a really good hand actually. I got a turn 1 wizard, which I don't always have, and Gitu Lava Runner. He plays Ponder, I play my Lava Runner, and just a little 1-2 right now, but at least it trades with Naban if nothing else. And he plays Cavernous Souls, which is potentially a very relevant card in this matchup. We're both playing a ton of counter spells and wizards, so Naban gets resolves. Even if I wanted to daze that, I could not. So attack for 1 just to see if he'll bite. I'm definitely going to kill Naban either way with this Incinerate, so I guess I would have preferred him to just trade with my Gitu Lava Runner to hold up, Spellstutter Sprite or something, but it was not to be. And here comes the bad boy himself, True Name Nemesis. A card that's shown up a lot this tournament, but luckily it's not a wizard, so Cavernous Souls doesn't do anything, and I have a daze, so I really dodged a bullet there. I was able to dodge the True Name. Attack him, plink him for 1, then play this Augur Bolus, dig in for instant or sorcery. So both of our decks make really good use of this card. His probably a little bit more than mine, to be fair, but I do not hit, so just a 1-3. He has his own Augur Bolus and hits a Preordain, which is kind of relevant because I have the Spellstutter Sprite, so I'm kind of hoping to nab that Preordain with the Spellstutter Sprite. But I play Adeliz instead. It gets remanded. He blocks, absorbs some damage, and then plays Wasteland. So he's winning the mana battle, that's for sure. I draw my own Wasteland, but in the draw step we get another attempt at Vendilion Click, which this time I cannot stop. So that resolves. He takes Adeliz, and I attack him again, and play this Siren Storm Tamer. A card I really like quite a bit. It's I play it in other decks too, not just wizard deck, because it is a wizard, but it'll block his Vendilion Click here potentially. And I place Naban. I'm hoping he'll play this Preordain into my Spellstutter, but he actually, probably is disincentivized to do that because he knows I have it. I draw Triton Tactics, which definitely informs my thinking here for this turn. I go and attack all out. I really want to bait him into attacking with the Click and Naban, so I can just blow him out with Triton Tactics. But smartly on his part, he goes pre-combat Master of Waves, which is a very good play. It makes me almost regret not wastelanding the Cavernous Souls last turn just to telegraph that I do have a counterspell. But he got a ton of information when he saw my hand with Vendilion Click, so that was really bad. I still get to blow him out a little bit with this Triton Tactics, but it's soured by the fact that he has about 18 power worth of elementals on the board right now in one fell swoop. So I play this piddly little Spellstutter Sprite I guess for the reason that I'm going to die horribly very quickly unless I can kill him before he can kill me. I replay Adeliz and attack with my Flyers, which he can't block, but I actually screw up here. I don't do the full math because I assume he's not going to attack with Master of Waves because that just gets eaten by Augur Bolus. But with me being tapped out, he actually has exactly enough power to win, even if I make some obvious blocks here. So that was a pretty bad punt. Not sure I probably wouldn't have won that game anyway, but there's just no excuse for that. So we're forced to go to game 3, and another decent hand here. I got a lot of burn this time. Play the Spire Bluff and pass. He goes Island Pass. I have a lot of counter spells and just need a threat to stick. Got even more burn, Burst Lightning. So I go to play this Adeliz. He goes to remand it, but I daze the remand. So want to get this Adeliz in play. Once it's in play, he really can't do a whole lot except bounce it, which is not that big a deal. Well, speak of the devil, sometimes you can bounce it and get a 2/2 body attached to the bounce. So that's unfortunate for me. He's going to bounce Adeliz with Harbinger of the Tides. I draw Vendilion Click, which I actually play pre-combat while he's tapped out here. This is a really good threat. I click myself just because I really want to dig for a land. So I pitch that counterspell. Maybe I should have clicked him. I'm not sure. He attacks me for 2 and then plays Trophy Mage, which I do not have the art for. So he has some promo version or something. So he's gonna get a 3-cost artifact and gets one of the best possible ones for mono blue, Vidalcan Shackles. Really scary card. I'm gonna have to kill him quick before that gets online because that's going to be a huge problem for me. So I play this G2 Lava Runner and attack for 2, holding up Memory Lapse for the Shackles if he decides to play it. Instead, he just plays Void Mage Prodigy. Kind of a cool card. You can, sack a wizard to, cast a counter spell. I let it resolve because I can kill it with burn, in which I have excess burn but not excess counter. So I use the Searing Spear on it. I want to save this Memory Lapse for the Shackles itself because that's a lot harder to deal with. I can't just burn an artifact, or can I with a Braid? The Braid's so silly and flexible. Well, it makes me feel nice to have that. Here I attack him down to 5 and make a really boneheaded play. This is a huge punt. I play Jori N. I'm thinking I just want value here off Jori N. I can play Jori N plus Burst Lightning, draw an extra card, but there was really no reason to do that. He's got 4 mana up. Just give him a chance to cast this Cryptic. He's gonna draw an extra card. What I should have done is, you sack the Arid Mace on his turn, then you use Searing Blaze plus Burst Lightning to kill him since he was at 5. He does do the Gitaxian Probe with Phyrexian mana though, so he goes to 3, which is really low against all this burn. So I try to kill him here. I try to kill him by killing his blocker with a Braid. This seems like the cleanest way to go about it. I kind of want to save my burn until he's tapped out, so he doesn't bite on that, but he does have Unsubstantiate, which is going to bounce Vendilion Click to my hand. It's really the only way he survives here because he's at 3. So nothing I can do about that. I guess I could have Memory Lapsed that, but I just decided to go for the Burst Lightning here, kind of playing around 4 Spike and Daze, but he has a Mana Leak instead. So he's doing a great job staying alive here. I have so many ways to deal lethal to him. He's at 1 life. The Storm Chaser Mage is lethal. My other creature's lethal, but he does have a blocker back in Trophy Mage. So he has Remove Soul. I feel like I can counter it with Memory Lapse and go for the win. But he has another counterspell, Condescend. So not only is he going to thwart my attempts to win this turn, he's going to get to scry too, which, I'm assuming he's digging for a land here so we can cast Shackles and use it in the same turn. Instead, he just says go, which is a little bit strange, but I just go for this Adeliz, and he has Mystic Confluence. So he's really amazingly, keeping in this game at 1 life. So I thought I was going to win either way with either Adeliz having haste or me being able to cast Renegade Tactics on my other creature, but I didn't have enough mana to do that. Jace the Mind Sculptor comes down, and I'm actually quite relieved that he's playing this rather than Vedalken Shackles, because the Shackles would have taken a creature. I draw my 5th land finally, and I go to Renegade Tactics. Card I really kind of like quite a bit because it buffs Adeliz, triggers Adeliz, and it takes away a blocker, and that'll actually do it. That'll do it for our first ever Duel Commander double elimination tournament here at DCM. Yours truly ended up pulling it out against a slew of other blue decks that made for a truly interesting field. Thanks to everyone who participated, and a special shout out to Donzir, who placed 2nd, and Rudyards, aka That Damn Pipsqueak, who placed 3rd. If you want to participate in future events like this, we'd love to have you. It's really easy, just download and install Xmage, get on the Duel Commander Discord server, and create a challenge.com account. Everything is free, so you can brew to your heart's content. There's really no excuse for skipping out. Links to all these things are in the video description, and you can always message us on the Discord if you're having trouble setting anything up. What did you guys think of the tournament format? Any changes you'd suggest in how I produce or release these videos? Did you get too bored with Adeliz by the end, or did you like seeing the deck play out over time in a longer sequence? Please share your feedback in the comments below. Thanks for watching, see you next time.